Hello, I am Davina, and hello to all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. Today, I'm going to talk about your brain on trauma. What I've been realizing recently is that so many of my thoughts are actually fear in disguise. They may seem really well intentioned, but it's often just a swirling of fear. And there's often like kind of a shame mixed in with that, and sometimes self-blame as well. But even things like obsessive thinking, overthinking things, even planning can be a disguise for worrying. Um, all these kind of thoughts. And sometimes, like right now, where I'm going through some, possibly big decisions, it's just taken it to a new level. And I'm just really watching this as it happens. And my brain sounds something like, should I do this? Should I do that? Maybe I should do this. But what about this? And what if that happens? Well, if that happens, then I'm going to have to do this. But this one might be better than this one, and I could do this one. But this has this, and this has this, and what am I going to do if this happens? And how am I going to handle this? And it goes on and on like this. And then should I be like this? Should I do that? And this is what survival brain kind of sounds like. And I think I've just gotten so used to thinking like that it just seems normal. But I'm realizing it's really not normal. Well, not normal, but I mean not. It's the trauma that is. It's just that I'm in a flashback, and I'm in that state like as I was as a child, where yeah, my brain was so much in that survival mode, fight, flight, fawn, freeze, all of that. Um, and yeah, that's where the thinking goes. So as a child, it was constantly like I wasn't thinking creatively. I couldn't just be in the moment. I had to be thinking like, what's next and how should I be and what should I do and how am I going to handle this? And like it moved very like my thoughts moved very, very fast. And the kind of metaphor I came up with today was like imagining, being in my house and I'm surrounded with tigers and bears, and I have to figure out how to get out and go to the grocery store, and maybe you're there planning with your friends. Well, should we do this? Should we go out the front door? Well, but maybe if we go out the front door, they're gonna go out the front, and we're gonna maybe we should go out the back, and should we get a stick? Maybe we should bring a hammer. What do you think? And just going on and on like this, and what are we going to do if one jumps us, and how are we going to handle? Should we run up a tree? And like this is survival mode where you're just moved out of your body into your head, and you're just trying to get through that moment or that situation. And for us, our situation was our whole childhood, so it was constant. And at least I know it is for me, and I know probably for many of you it is. So it's this constant underlying fear, the fear of being rejected and abandoned. And it was a very real fear. And so just trying to become aware of that kind of thinking. And what I've done is just the last couple of days, or like kind of recently, I guess it's happened before too, but just stop, like just stop. And like the first thing I did was like, of course I'm terrified. Of course I'm feeling terrified. Like really validate it, because there can be another layer. You have the layer of shame, you got the layer of fear, and then there can be another layer that's saying very quietly, it's very subtle, but I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be feeling this way. And so we kind of try to fight it in a way. And even though like this morning earlier, I was acknowledging I'm feeling scared, I was still in my head. Like I wasn't really acknowledging like it in my body. So we really need to sink down into our body. And I stood in my kitchen and just noticed it. And I went, oh, now I can feel it. I can feel the tension in my upper back. And I just stayed with that for just even a few minutes, and it started to dissipate. And of course, then it comes up again. That's the problem. And, you know, like even I remember working as a nanny and I would go through the fear and I'd be with the fear and then another layer would come up and I'd be with the fear and another, and it can be just relentless. So that fear just, you know, there's probably thousands and thousands of layers as I see it. I sometimes think of flashbacks as those, you know, microscope slides. Like there's just thousands and thousands of these slides of different kinds of trauma. Like this one has shame, and this slide has fear, and they're just a giant pile stacked up, layers of them. And that's kind of how I picture, you know, the trauma that's happening and that's arising. So so just try to stop, because the thinking can be so convincing. I think I spent most of yesterday just talking to myself, blah, 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 I did this and I did this. Maybe I can do this and I should do this and maybe I can do this. And if this happens, then I could do this. And it just went on and on. And I realized like, this is all fear speaking, right? It's just that fear mode coming out. And even right now, I can still kind of sense it, because if I'm not feeling my feet, then I'm still just speaking out of this fear mode. And there might be some people pleasing coming out and doing a video even. That's okay. I'm just like, okay, that's okay. But just to be aware of that. And so just to stop, to really validate it, to go like, yeah, I'm not okay. You know, I am feeling terrified. Of course, I'm feeling terrified. My inner child, and try to picture her, you know, maybe, you know, in her home, and maybe picture a scene of what's happening and why she's scared. And it's very valid. And then try to be with that in your body, like try to find, and sometimes too, you can start by feeling the safe places in your body. Like, how are my hands? Oh, I don't have any anxiety in my hands. How about my feet? My feet feel okay. Okay, there's no fear there. So you can kind of like find some safe places, because it, like when you have that kind of strong anxiety, I know me, I feel like I want to leap out of my skin. You know, it just feels so unbearable. Um, so yeah, and of course, yoga nidra helps me tremendously. Even just sitting on my acupressure mat for a few minutes can just like help to like just get it down to a level where I can like just manage it a little bit better. Medication, if you need medication. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't take my advice, but I'm just saying it's okay if that's what you need. Yes, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And yeah, keep going. It Yeah, I'm wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I'm Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thanks for watching.